this is crazy right here.
Hey, yo, Ash, you crazy for this one.
Dykeman, Uptown, I see you. East Harlem, West Harlem. Is there a place called West Harlem? Did I just make that up? Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. I don't know nothing about this. It's fucking RC. Who am I lying to? I don't know nothing about that. Yo, what's up? Welcome to Last Stop on the L Train. I am one of your dynamic hosts, DannyOcion, DannyOcian. Find me on Twitter.
Yo, my name is Mike, Mayhem Mike, that is. Find me at Twitter at YFR Mayhem.
It is a new year, same us. No lies being told here.
Word.
We've been gone for a minute. I know we were supposed to. I'm talking to like you, like, oh, y'all just been thirsty for this. I don't care. I'm gonna talk to y'all.
Who
like
knows
I'm
our
out
schedule?
here in the streets going platinum.
Who
okay?
knows our schedule?
In our minds, we're supposed to do this show bi-weekly. And for the most part, we have been doing it bi-weekly, except, you know, the holidays came and it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
So technically what you're saying is we've been doing this show bi-weekly, but we haven't.
Yeah, exactly what I'm saying. Like, I got lost in the pepper pot sauce. I was gone. There was wine, there was sorrow, there was shandy. If you don't know what that is, you're not West Indian, don't talk to me.
This whole flat stomach journey I've been on, Christmas and New Year's have set me back. For sure. And if you're not with me on that, I don't know who you are. You don't exist to me, brother.
Listen, if you out here eating healthy during the holiday break, I respect your strength, your determination, your willpower, but you can't be trusted. If you're not out here getting tempted by this chicken, I don't even know. Listen, get away from me, brother.
You must not be leaving your house.
Don't look my girl in the eye when you meet her.
Yo, that's true, man. Like, certain dishes have been prepared for weeks, if not days, before the actual holiday. And you telling me you can't resist that? This freshly cut turkey? This freshly cut chicken? Whatever you decide to have?
Personally, I have duck. That's just how I roll during the holiday season. You know what I'm saying?
Fancy ass.
If you ever had any duck in your life, yo, it is the bomb. Be adventurous for once. Put the fries down on the chicken wings and order some duck from your Chinese. Okay, not your hood spot. Let me take that back. Not your hood spot. Like, go to Chinatown, order some Peking duck, and enjoy life.
Yo, can we talk about that one time we brought some Chinese chicken wings to a friend's house?
Oh! The ones that were sprinkled with crack? Oh, those things were... Oh, man.
Ladies and
Think
gentlemen.
about them from time to time.
Ladies and gentlemen, I can fully attest to this. If you have nothing to bring to a party, to a gathering, sometimes the neighborhood Chinese spot will hook you up with the chicken wings. You will save it. You will save that event. It's happened to me 3 times already. 3 times. I can't deny it.
Because when we brought that Chinese chicken, first of all, this is some high quality Chinese chicken. Okay? Like, this is the type that, like, you know, sometimes it's really salty.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's that dude on YouTube that be doing the show that, I'm not going to shout him out. I'm not giving free press. But there's a British dude on YouTube who doesn't look his age out here doing reviews of chicken shacks. If I was to do that show, I would be in this Chinese spot every day. Okay? every day.
I'm not gonna lie though, I did kind of feel away when they asked us for a grape soda.
Actually, I asked for the grape soda because she kind of looked at me. You know, she's trying to be respectful. Like, you can have a choice of soda, and I saw her like struggle to like keep her hand above the grape. And I'm like, listen, man, I respect you. I understand what you're trying to do, but I really do want that grape soda.
DannyOcion.
And then a white girl behind me started laughing. I'm like, don't judge me. Okay,
is the worst companion you have to
Ain't
delete any type
when
of
you ordered
stereotypes.
mineral water. What? Don't be judging me.
Anyway, so Daddy, what's your New Year's resolution this year?
I don't have New Year's resolutions. I have everyday resolutions, and it's been the same since I was about born. Get this money, and the way I know how I've gotten this money is if I got in the Maybach. My brother Mayhem, can I drive?
No.
Do I own a Maybach?
No.
I'm still working on it.
That's a pretty sound resolution, I guess.
How about yourself?
Actually, my New Year's resolution is to actually go on 4 trips this year.
A word.
Yes, to fill up this passport. And of course, get this money. And of course, make this podcast the best podcast ever known on the Last Stop on the L Train. You know what I'm saying?
We are already the best podcast to ever come out of Canarsie. And I can say that for a fact because I really don't know any other podcast to come out of Canarsie. So undoubtedly, we are numero uno.
Numero uno. Speaking of which, since we're number one, what does it mean to be a millennial?
Okay, that was a transition there.
You want to recognize that first? Okay.
You got me hit me with the deep stuff. Like, goddamn, like we're just talking about New Year's resolutions, and I was just like, explain yourself.
Definitely didn't hear that.
What does it mean to be a millennial? To me, being a millennial is being between the ages of like 21 and 35. You grew up in the internet age. You're the first generation to grow up with digital media, the internet, access to technology has become a more intricate part of your life. You've seen a lot of changes become normal that for many years people thought would be completely impossible. And everyone over the age of 35 hates your guts with a burning passion. You'll be like, hey man, you should treat everyone the same regardless of race, ethnicity, nationality, religion, or gender. And everyone over 35 is like, stop being such a baby. And you're like, wait, what? Was that a controversial statement? Like,
I mean, being a millennial, you've grown up with a lot of different things. You've grown up with, I don't know if you remember this in Carter Encyclopedia 95. You've grown up with AOL back when it was dial-up.
I don't know nothing about Encarta. I don't know nothing about Encarta.
I do. AOL from 95 or whatever, and then you went from dial-up connection to DSL, high-speed internet, and then it was just like, all right, you can go on anytime. We talked about this before. Personally, like AIM, back when emojis was actually there, we just didn't know it before they were in motion. People used to leave Facebook statuses on their away message for AIM, so you were getting shout out, and there were shots being fired. Also, shout out to MySpace for first introducing that. You took me off your top 5, son. Ooh. That's it. You done. Dead to me. No more.
It's a fight. Yo, it's on when I see you.
But see, look at that. We had MySpace, High Five. Facebook wasn't around at the time until we got to college, honestly.
Yeah.
We had Yahoo Messenger, Hotmail Messenger. We had all these different things. So if you know of those things at least, and these people, Selena Gomez, Miley Cyrus, the Jonas Brothers, like you know,
Pratt.
Oh my God! If you know of these things, you're a millennial.
I think what's happened in our generation is that all the fun stuff has overshadowed the serious stuff, so they don't take us seriously. So, for example, like we just talked about all the positive, fun things that like BuzzFeed lists will cover, right?
Right.
But what those lists never talk about is the fact that it was also our generation that fought in 2 different wars.
Yeah.
The Iraq and Afghanistan war, which were 2 of the longest wars in American history.
Bruh.
We're the generation that lived through 9/11. That became our reality when terrorism went from something you read about to a pretty regular occurrence. The Great Recession. I know I personally graduated into that. So it's like, welcome to adulthood. No jobs. It's like, wait, what?
What'd I go to school for?
Exactly. I saw the first black president ever elected.
Yep.
There was Supreme Court cases that changed the nature of the military. Now women are now allowed to serve in the military.
Yep.
People who are LGBTQ are allowed to be married for the first time. We started talking about race in a more comprehensive way.
Yep.
Aside from like, this is something that happened in the 60s and we marched and got rid of it. So I think that because all the serious stuff gets drowned out by all that positive stuff, whenever it comes time to talk about our generation, the only thing they talk about is, you guys are spoiled. You're the generation of narcissists.
Oh, I hear that
You're
so
all
much.
taking selfies and not doing anything with your life. Yada. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're too busy polluting my rivers and waters. What were you saying?
Wow. So one thing I want to talk about is, in New York particularly, there's been a lot of different things that are going on where the newspapers have addressed, like, instead of people acting out to help others in danger, we're too busy taking, not selfies, but videos of it. And that's not necessarily true, because if you think about it realistically, if something, let's say somebody was about to get hit by a car, the amount of time it takes for you to ignore the fight or flight response system that happens instantaneous in your body to pull out a phone, unlock your phone. Some of y'all got like 12-digit keys to unlock your phone.
What you hiding, bro?
Load the app, whether it be Instagram, whether it be your camera app, oh God, Snapchat, which takes so long.
Yeah.
Point it in their direction and record it. you have to have it already out. Honestly, it's very slim to none. And a lot of people act out and already save people. There's been plenty of times on the news where people are like, listen, I just acted. It seemed like the right thing to do. And granted, we are a lot into our phones, particularly our phones and tablet devices.
I want to push back on that a little.
Okay.
Because as some, I have people who are older, much older than us, who are equally into their phones. We put them on, show them how it works, and now they're living in that WhatsApp. That Candy Crush is always blinging.
Oh, that Candy Crush.
And don't you give your older relatives access to Facebook. All those awkward comments. Get off my timeline.
You see, the crazy thing is, like, last year, one of the popular memes was one of those kids, like, you got any games on your phone? Because the kids are way more annoying, but we forget the adults can be just as annoying. It's just that it's not many of them. Really, it's not. One thing I will say about being a millennial is learning how to put your phone down, because there's so many things, there's so many ways to do it through your phone that it's kind of hard. Like, you want to know what's going on Facebook, sometimes even through the news, through Facebook, Twitter, you can do that. You want to order something real fast, you can do that. You want to send a nice little message to this girl that just stood you up for the third time, you can do that.
Damn.
That's no shade. I'm just saying, like,
3 times though.
You want to check your train status, your bus status, flight status. You can do that. You don't really have to pick up a phone and necessarily talk to anybody.
Yeah.
So although they see it like we're stuck in our phone, that's because we don't necessarily have to engage with humans anymore per se, audibly anymore. Let me say audibly, not voice. You don't have to do that, but we have to learn that kind of control too.
Speaking of video too, Argent. So I know a lot of people talking about that we're all narcissists and doing stupid things. I want to stress again. We're not the only generation using these technologies. Our generation may have invented and built them, but we're not the only one using them. But we've also, for the first time, witnessed digital revolutions.
Okay.
The Arab Spring, in which the different governments around the world, particularly in the Middle East, fell, was a result of young people in particular organizing themselves through Facebook and Twitter to fight against government injustice. And the way they did that, instead of guns in every case, was to document the things that were being done against them.
Wow.
So for the first time, not only could the world see what was going on, the world knew. It's one thing to know something.
Right.
It's another thing to see it. Like you may know police brutality is an issue. It's another thing to see a guy die on Facebook Live in front of his kid. Right. That's an entirely different experience. And it has brought a lot of things to light, and it's caused a lot of change. But it's also done some stupid stuff, like the ice bucket challenge is a positive thing. But like the what's a really stupid challenge?
The Soldier Boy challenge. Like came in and the gun was on the floor, and I went pop pop, and then I heard the pop pop, blacka. Pew pew pew. I want to do my own.
Shout out Big Soldier Guwap. I heard you just got your chain taken again.
And $20,000.
Usually on this podcast, I refrain from talking reckless from rappers in the odd chance I have to run into them. Not because they particularly put fear in my heart, but if there's one thing that I learned through the 50 Cent and Ja Rule beef, it's never fear the rapper. Fear the guy on his payroll who has nothing to live for.
The young boys, okay.
The one that got something to prove, who got no hit records, only hit records he has is the body he caught in 98.
That is true.
But in the case of Soulja Boy, I have no fear of that happening, for he is the fakest gangster in the land.
Isn't he from California?
No, my friend. He is from Mississippi, Atlanta.
What?
Because when I said there's no place, by the way, named Atlanta, Mississippi, I'm being sarcastic. He's born and raised in Mississippi. He moved to Atlanta, and now he's claiming that he's from Fruit Town, which is a neighborhood in LA that's run by a particular blood gang.
Can I just stop you for 1 second?
Yes.
If this fight happens, are you gonna watch? If the fight between Chris Brown and Soulja Boy happens, I mean, they can have other people there too.
Here's why I don't want to watch the fight between Soulja Boy and Chris Brown. Because if it happens, there was a video this week, and one of the OGs from LA, Whack 100, was talking about basically only they can profit off of this.
Yeah, because they're from California. Yeah,
and the affiliations that they're claiming.
Yeah, I seen that.
So no out of towners again. Yeah, listen. Don't co-sign this stupidness. I
mean, if it goes through and this goes down, I don't care who the winner is. I want to set up I don't want to even set up a fight. I want to set up a dance battle, and the proceeds go to whatever charity between Chris Brown and Omarion. That's right, Omarion. Omarion, who knows 9 dance battles. Mr. Touch
God,
himself. Mr. Touch himself.
Oh.
Come on, don't give me that. Don't give me that. Forget Icebox. Touch himself.
Oh, by the way.
In the Timbs. He did that in the Timbs.
By the way, we straight up just switch topics. No transition. But it's okay. It's our podcast. We do what we want. New year, same us.
Stay tuned, people.
But I guess, listen, would I watch the fight with a bunch of friends to laugh hilariously? Of course. But here's my fear about anyone who pays for that fight should it ever happen.
Right.
It's going to be trash.
I mean, it's just something new. It's something pivotal if you think about it.
Listen, man.
We no longer need Don King. I mean, technically.
You saw Ronda Rousey last fight?
All I'm going to say is she been talking way too much. She need to retire. I'm just going to say Don King. We no longer need Don King to set up those fights.
Listen.
I mean, we didn't need Don King when he saw him stand up next to Trump, but that's just my personal view. Anyway, we don't need Don King anymore. Listen,
all I know is Soulja Boy can never fall. Because you know why? Because if Soulja Boy falls down, we all seen when Chris Brown stomps in those videos. Yo, that crump dancing, yo, it's over for Soulja Boy. If he lands one of them crump legs, like, oh, damn.
It's a ring. They don't use feet unless they're doing MMA. That's different, but I don't think they're going to be doing that.
Oh, man, they kicking. Get out of here. Ain't nobody keeping it to the hands. And you know Soulja Boy, and if Chris Brown started losing, his entourage jumping in. Nah, forget this.
That is true. Nobody shoots the fair anymore. But okay, really fast. Let's talk about the direction of TV because we're talking about pay-per-view. I wanted to bring up a fact that, like, I feel like, to me personally, and I want to hear everybody else's opinion, I feel like TV is slowly dying. And here why. I know you got your ways. I see your face already, Mr. Black Man. I hear you. But check this out. What's really on TV that's keeping people there? Like, yes, people are pouring in, but you got to understand, at least in New York, prices of TV are going up for the equipment, for the services. We're losing channels based on our subscribers and whatnot. And everything you can do on TV can be watched online. Like, there's literally a back alley website that you can watch, or the actual website. I'm not condoning that you go to the back alley website. I'm just saying that it's there.
But if either of them want to sponsor the show, what is good?
Holler at us, YFR Mayhem on Twitter. So, TV may slightly see a comeback increase, but I feel like ultimately it's dead. We're going to be viewing a lot of things via the internet. Cable is going the way of the actual TV. I don't know if you guys remember it. If you're a millennial, when you were younger, a TV, especially a flat screen, was like $10,000, $14,000. Now you can get one for like $400 or $500. What do you think?
So you're saying that TV's dying because of more options?
I want to say the better option, which is the internet.
I would argue that just shifting where we watch TV, it's still TV.
Still, I feel like the output of it is gone. Like the actual TV broadcasting via a network on whatever network that they use, let's just say, is done. Like the physical TV may actually now be like a screen, an LSD or a projection.
No, I get what you're saying, but I'm just like, I honestly just think that's still TV. The majority of content on streaming sites is from not I say broadcast,
right.
It's from traditional TV outlets, including Netflix.
Okay.
The majority of their content is stuff produced on all the different cable channels. Same thing with Hulu's. Most of their content's the same thing. Same thing with Amazon Prime.
Oh my God, Hulu. I'm sorry, Hulu. Like, if you sneeze on a remote, you got 3 advertisements coming your way. I'm so serious.
You know what's the funny thing about Hulu? Listen, because, usually I would probably promote a policy of not flaming potential sponsors.
Right.
But these guys needs to be flamed.
Yo.
If you're going to pay if you're going to charge, I think it's $11.99 for their ad-free version.
Right.
How are you going to make someone pay $11.99 or $15, whatever the hell the stupid price is, for an ad-free version and have ads? It's called ad-free, and they're ads. They're like, well, it's only ads on select shows. It's an ad-free version. Do you understand what ad-free means? I think they recently changed it. One was like, nah, that just left the bad taste in my mouth. That's just ass. I'm
just waiting for Netflix to grab everything up. Because with Hulu, there's an ad in the beginning. There's an ad in the middle. There's an ad at the end. And it's not just one ad. It's 3 ads. So you get 9 ads. But wait. You watch one episode. You think you're done. You start the new episode. An ad in the beginning, an ad in the middle, and an ad at the end. Bruh.
You ever had a glitch where the ad replayed itself even though you just watched it?
Oh my god. I'm still waiting for the glitch where I bypass the ad somehow. I don't know.
My favorite is when they're like, choose your own ad. I'm like, how about none? I'm being forced to watch this. I am not buying your Toyota Fiesta.
Like, one of the popular ads that I remember is Match. Like, Match.com. What are you looking for in a husband? Somebody funny, makes me laugh. And like, oh my god, please find this woman in person already. Stop showing me this ad. Oh, speaking of which, I guess we should talk about the Bay contract. Have you heard about the Bay contract?
Hell no. What the hell's the Bay contract?
So the Bay contract is pretty much before you get with somebody, there's a contract that he or she has to sign. Mm-hmm. This is going to catch on like wildfire, mark my words, because, a lot of people are now understanding how dating goes. If you don't know how understanding dating goes, it goes like this. First of all, you meet somebody. When you're meeting somebody, you're talking to them. You're not necessarily dating unless you put that on them. So you're talking to them, you're getting to know them. Then when you decide, hey, he or she's not crazy, I don't have anything to worry about, I'm going to take them on a couple of dates, I'm going to actively date them. So that's called the dating process. Now, at this point in time, maybe that person is not ready for an actual relationship. Maybe they like the way things are. You can become exclusive. You get exclusive rights to date them. You get exclusive rights for intimacy or whatever. But generally, that leads into an actual relationship and then marriage. So now the Bay contract is pretty much, all right, I've decided I'm going to date you, but this is what I want from you. These are some things that I will not necessarily compromise. Like, I want your time. I want you to call me. Women, you may want him to shower you with gifts. Men, you may want her to just, like, I don't know, bust it wide open. Who knows? Like, like, it's just stupid. I'm just saying stupid stuff, of course. But, like, you may want certain things, and you guys have to obviously compromise and come to terms with certain things. The Bay contract, because nowadays people aren't necessarily being loyal to relationships. So if you have a contract, what that do is supposedly, I wish you could see the air quotes I'm doing right now, that will enforce them to be loyal or opt out, so you don't have to necessarily waste your time.
Is this contract legally binding?
It might be, because technically in New York, if it's via voice, it can be.
Listen, I am not signing any legal documentation or verbally agreeing to any sort of contract. By the way, if you can see my co-host, she's like, yeah, you single ass Negro. Truth.
I feel like everybody has a price. All he needs is the right woman. Yo, I signed this contract. I can't be out after 8. I'm sorry, man. In fact, I'm not even supposed to be on the phone. I gotta go.
All jokes aside, I think that's a little silly. Not because you shouldn't have expectations from your romantic partner, you shouldn't settle for somebody.
Right.
You shouldn't be like, this is the best I can get.
Right.
I mean, you can do that with cars, but with someone...
Really, a car?
Hey, listen, if your car is busted, but it gets you from point A to point B, you only need it for your job, would you take that car?
Listen, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Most people who have that in mind rarely stick to it. They pull up in the club and they pick you up, or they park outside.
No, I'm saying if your choice is to get
no, definitely, I agree.
You take the car, right? But I'm saying don't use that mentality with people.
Okay.
Because a car is a thing. It can be traded in,
right?
Like left to the side of the road one day if you choose.
But this is key. I feel like this is gonna blow up pretty big because I want to say women, not necessarily women, but women particularly want to be treated like royalty. They want to be treated like queens. They don't want to be looked at like a piece of meat. They don't want to be looked at for their looks. They want to be appreciated for them. But there's more to a woman because they already have to go through what's called a double standard, and they're considered a double minority, if you will, especially if they're black.
Yeah.
So
I get that, but here's my hesitancy with the Bay contract, right? Why don't you just get married?
Who's gonna jump into marriage right then and there?
No, to say why would you agree to all these rules and stipulations?
Because
to someone you're not marrying. That makes absolutely no sense.
Because this is the
me.
new thing of dating, man. Like, women don't want necessarily, when it comes to dating, they don't want invariables. They want positive. They want concrete. Like, listen. This is you. You're going to call me 8 o'clock at 8 p.m. You're going to take control. You're going to do all these things. These are things I want for you to do. It's a Bay contract.
So guys don't have their own version of this.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Because I feel like men do have Bay contracts of their own.
Just thirsty
we just feel like we don't necessarily enforce it.
Ours would be thirsty as hell. There used to be like fundamental steps to maintaining healthy relationships, and ours would just be like, wow, chicka, wow, wow. Like 1 to 5.
I hate to say this. I feel like this is a generational difference kind of deal where it's like, for our generation, it was more or less like categorizing dating and talking to people. And the next generation that comes after, for like my siblings and whatnot that come after me, they're going to take something into that effect. They're going to pick that up.
Dating's gotten weird, bro.
Dating's just evolved. It didn't get weird. It's the same.
It didn't get, okay, you're right. You're right. It evolved. It's
right.
The same thing. But I think in terms of how you refer to something, certain things has gotten strange, right?
Okay.
We have 1,000 apps to communicate. Right? And we do. Like, listen, people be Snapchatting their I don't even know what to call. See, you see my hesitancy? See,
their moments. Snapchatting their moments.
Like
their lives.
No, they be Snapchatting to the other person.
Okay.
So let's just say the other person.
Okay.
Because any other label gets weird for some people, right?
Okay.
So they'll be Snapchatting, texting, Facebook messaging, WhatsApp, Twitter DMs, Instagram. And I'll be like, oh, yo, that's your girlfriend? Now we're just talking. Like, goddamn! Like, every single social y'all been how long? And you're like, nah, we don't really believe in labels. Oh, okay, so, hold on. Okay, that's cool. I respect and appreciate that. But I'm just saying, every single platform, you communicate regularly, and you can't answer that basic question?
Okay, I'll say this. I agree.
Yes.
I'll say this. Technology has allowed us to be more precautious and create and a little bit not as paranoid, let's just say, out with a lot of different things in our information. For instance, I can meet you. You could say you're from Switzerland, and we can be best of friends.
True.
But because I never seen you in person, because I don't really have a feel for you,
yes,
you're not getting my number necessarily. You know, you get the email of anything. And I may give you the decoy email, the one I send all the ads to.
I swear to God, like, getting a number nowadays is just like, that's how you know you in there. It's like, yo, hit me on Snapchat, hit me on message, hit me on WhatsApp. Actually, here's my cell phone number. Oh, okay.
Because then I gotta block you if anything goes wrong. You know, I personally don't care. Like, but you know, other people, like, I gotta block you, and then I gotta worry about other numbers blocked. Listen, as a man, I've personally received phone calls from unknown numbers from other men who were worried about me and their girl. We were just friends, whatever the case may have happened. Maybe we weren't at that time. It depends. Situation is different. However, I've seen that. I know the rules to the game. Okay? I know what it is. Anyway, my co-host is dying right now. Like, he's in tears. He knows my history. Anyway, all I'm saying is,
I just picture you going, who this? New phone.
at the same time,
Oh, God.
when it comes to dating and not being labels and all that other stuff being applied, you know, people are able to get to know you a little bit better. You know, we're able to communicate in different platforms. Has it gotten weird? It's just really evolved into a better, I want to say, a better understanding of things. You know, and not for nothing, like I said, what is it, 2 episodes ago, or, you know, whatever, like, that doesn't stop people from being investigative. You know, they'll go through your Instagram and see who likes what, who's constantly commenting.
You know, actually, I think that's one of the positive things about modern dating as opposed to dating prior to our generation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you, for example, are using dating apps, like most people use, myself included, or you're getting set up through a friend, you can actually learn a lot more about the person before you meet. And people say, like, that takes away the mystery. No. F that.
There's still mystery. Trust me.
There's still, like, profiles don't tell all, first of all. And number 2, there's some things I need to know.
That a profile won't tell you.
Like, if you got on a Make America Great hat, let me tell you something right now. That message that you sent, hey, how you doing? Left on scene.
That works both ways.
I will do that in real life too.
Oh shit.
It'd be like, yo, Danny, yo, my boy Mayhem be like, yo, Danny, this is my homegirl, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool, nice to meet you. Is that no. I'm out. I'm out.
It checks out.
We're done here. I think that's positive. I think that's actually, the glut of information has actually led to a lot more matches. And I think, ironically, that's led to a lot of frustration for people who are searching for something, like, really serious and concrete. because they see some of their friends getting married. Because I have friends who've literally met each other through those dating sites, never met each other before, and now are married. So now this weird effect happens where around them, their friends who are unable to do the same thing are like, why can't this happen to me? I'm like, because statistically that's hard as hell.
I will say this, when it comes to meeting somebody off the dating website, first of all, please get over yourself, millennials. Dating websites aren't that bad. I know, like, a lot of you are like, oh, what am I going to tell my parents when I meet the right one? Yeah, I met you at the
park. People still say that?
Yeah, of course.
People still, like, weird about dating websites.
I've met a girl a couple years ago who was like, in the event that you meet my dad, because her mom wasn't alive, she was like, in the event you meet my dad, we met at a park.
Why?
Because telling him that she met me at a internet dating website was too much for her. She was too embarrassed. I don't know why. There's still women out here. There's probably people that either know people or are the people themselves that listen to this podcast that will not tell you, the parent, that they met you, the date, or whoever you are, the boyfriend or girlfriend, through an internet website. Because that, even though that's just how the world works now, that you're a millennial.
So there are people, just for the record, who refuse to admit to meeting potentially the love of their life on an internet website.
Yes,
but
I know
those
one.
Same people will order medication off the internet,
or hair products,
or dresses from a certain company that throws out sponsorships like candy. What's up, company begin with an F? I see you all the time.
I'm not even gonna feed into that. I'm not.
CTC.
But for my brothers, especially, you may not necessarily sign on to an internet dating website, probably because you don't want to get caught out there doing your mischief. I'm not pointing any fingers. But let's say you don't. Just imagine you'll add somebody on Instagram, Facebook, based on how they look and what kind of information you can get before they add you as a friend. How awesome is that?
I think that's dope, personally. I think that's one of the things that I appreciate about my generation. But it's a double-edged sword.
Of course.
The same way they can know about, the same way you know about them is the same way they can know about you. Like, if you're trying to put on that front like you're cool, and then they go through that Facebook timeline.
Nah, bruh.
And it's just like, fam, is that a fanny pack? Like, are you wearing a fanny pack and New Balances? Like, what did you decide to do that day? Just give up? Like,
the worst is when you get tagged in it.
Oh, man.
Facebook has this weird thing now. Like, if I put up a status or whatever, somebody from literally your friends list will like it. And I'm just like, I'm not even friends with them, bro.
Oh, yeah, that's weird as hell.
I don't know what's going on, but they're definitely moving into that direction for sure. I just want to quickly transition because I just seen this update. Atlanta, shout out to you guys. Shout out to you, Donald Glover. Woo!
Shout out to the Migos.
Shout out to the Migos. Bad and Bougie is the number one record.
The number one. Listen.
Let me tell you how number one it is. One of my friends recently put it up as their status, and me and another friend went back to back and putting the lyrics line by line by line. Of course, she gave us the okay, stop, guys, but more or less like, I love you guys, aka stop right now. Too many notifications come to my phone. Y'all get me in trouble. I'm at work. But still, until then, we almost had an actual verse on a status.
You can walk into any college dorm room and just yell out, raindrop.
Drop top. Sorry for that. I was drinking something.
It's Atlanta, one of my favorite shows on TV. If you haven't watched it, we talked about it before. Don't care. Gonna keep talking about it. It's a dope show.
Need to watch it.
It's gonna go on hiatus. There's supposed to be the second season this year, but Donald Glover has become a victim of his own success. He's about to play the greatest space pimp in history, Lando Calrissian from Star Wars. People are like, what are you talking about? Lando wasn't a space pimp. That boy had activator in his hair and a cape. Don't you look me in the eye and tell me I don't know.
I cannot believe he just
what
said
a space pimp looks like.
I cannot believe he said that.
And to top it all off, he backstabbed his homeboy Han. You can't trust him.
That is true.
Hope that. Listen, I tweeted out at Donald earlier today because we're friends like that. Psych. I was like, yo, I hope the Lando role goes well for you. And if it doesn't go well, I hope you flame yourself on Atlanta. Because I'm still looking forward to that. He actually got his deal expanded with FX because of the success of Atlanta.
Wow.
So they're going to be optioning him for more shows. And I'm just like, listen, I know a lot of other stuff may be going downhill. But man, it's been a great time to be a person of color in Hollywood as a creator, isn't it?
It is.
Like there's literally no other period in history have people actively sought to hear your story. It doesn't mean you're not going to get, shafted or they're going to replace you in your story.
Of course,
There's still that chance. But for the first time ever, there's just so much demand that they have to go after you.
Okay. No, definitely. I'm glad he won. I'm glad he shouted out Migos for sure.
Oh, the Golden Globes is nothing but black excellence, by the way. Shout out to Tracee Ellis Ross. You see, recently, a large swath of America has become aware of Tracee Ellis Ross.
Yes.
Through the really great show Blackish. By the way, you need to watch last night's episode. It's called Lemon. It's about processing the election that happened.
Yeah.
Like, they really handle these episodes really well in terms of, like, great conversation and comedy.
Okay.
I was watching it halfway through it. I was just like, damn. I had the good times reaction. This took me back, but it was actually a pretty good episode. So a lot of people have discovered Tracee Ellis Ross recently if you're working Blackish. But if you are black, then your first reference to Tracee Ellis Ross is not Blackish. What is your first reference to Tracee Ellis Ross?
I don't know. What is it?
Girlfriends.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I'm gonna take away your black card, Mike.
Why? I was letting you answer the question. Why can't I let you answer the question?
Yo,
you don't have faith in me?
All those years you said you were watching UPN. You weren't watching UPN.
Listen. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me,
you
okay?
You were not watching UPN with me. You didn't know about Malcolm and Eddie.
No.
You were watching Sister.
I was living single. Don't stop that. Don't stop that with me, bro.
You were watching Party of Five, weren't you?
I was letting you answer your question, sir. I didn't know I actually had to answer it. I thought it was rhetorical for you.
If there's so much people listening, it's like, literally, what the hell are all those shows that it's name drop? Do your Googles. I don't care that you don't know. Do your Googles.
Okay.
So yeah, she's been around since, like, it's weird when you see actors and actresses, like Chris Rock made a joke years ago that talked about being black famous. Like, for example, Anthony Anderson.
Woo!
Like, I know Blackish is like one of the high points of his career, but I'm like, he was also in Law and Order.
Yep.
And before that, like, a ton of stuff. Like, just a ton of stuff.
Ton of movies too, definitely.
Donald Glover, I mean, their first reference to him might be this, or Troy and Abed from Community. But my first reference to him is Derek Comedy on YouTube.
Yep.
So he's like, it's really great to see people who've been like doing this for a while finally getting their success, like Issa Rae with Insecure. Rae. I mean, I don't think she won. She didn't win, right?
No, she didn't win. But Issa Rae, I'm very sorry for Issa Rae ass. Thank you.
You straight up changed her ethnic identity. She's a proud African sister. You made her Afro-Latino.
Speaking of people who've been doing it for a long time, Taraji B. Henderson. Okay. I want to give a shout out to you. I saw that movie. I'm totally cutting what he said. I'm totally Hidden Figures. The movie was awesome. I saw it not too long ago. It was a great movie.
Would you recommend it?
Hell yeah. Okay. Not only is it historical, but it shows it's not really a hidden message, but the undertone is what women of color, women of color went through. Mostly what women of color went through, and how they kind of dealt with a lot of oppositions. Let's
be honest, our gender's been trashed for a little bit. Like, we've been trashing their opportunity for a good bit. We getting better though.
Right.
We getting better.
So they used the Taraji B. Henson's character. They used Octavia Spencer's and Janelle Monáe's to show like three different sides of women, three different personalities, if you will, and how they handle the opposition, not necessarily from a different culture, but also from their own culture as well.
Gotcha.
Also from the men. So if you haven't seen it, you definitely need to see it. As a woman, you need to see it. It's empowering. You will learn so much that, you know, maybe in Black history you didn't know of, that I definitely found out at the end of the movie, for sure.
Who else is in the movie?
You got Kevin Costner, you got Kirsten Dunst, Jim Parsons from
The Big Bang Theory?
There you go. He's in it.
Okay, can I ask a rude question?
Sure.
Can he actually act?
Yeah, actually. But
so you're watching him and not thinking about Sheldon?
No. if you're watching the show, you're not thinking about. He's not speaking anyway like Sheldon.
Okay.
In any sort of way. Although he does take an intelligent role because he works at NASA.
Yeah.
But the character that he plays is more so. It isn't with words. It's his demeanor and his facial expression. So he excelled at that. Shout out to you for doing that because I know that must have been hard because you're probably going to be stereotyped for it.
Yes. Forever, ever.
I mean, hey, he did his thing. With that being said, definitely, if you haven't seen it, definitely go. Take your friends, go see it.
You made me just think of something that's happening this year that I forgot that I was looking forward to.
What happened?
The blackest superhero movie in the history
Black
of the
Panther?
world.
We talked about this. Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, I'm just sorry. I just reminded that it's coming out. Can I announcement to Marvel Comics and Marvel Studios? I don't care what the drop date is. I would like to buy my tickets now, please. I need to stop playing games, put the pre-orders up. I'll figure out the theater, give me my tickets, and take my money.
So if you haven't watched our show, please go back because we make a reference to Tyler Perry and Medea joins the Justice League. Oh, God. They don't allow guns, do they?
God, I feel like
I know we were talking about Marvel, but this is DC
because
the crazy thing about movies, I feel, is that they're doing it in threes. Three seems to be working so well. I mean, it's worked so well, but now it seems to be like a trend. I want to say from Batman Begins to Dark Knight Rises. So now we've got Wonder Woman for DC coming out.
Looks great.
Depending on how it does, we'll probably get The Flash and we'll probably get Aquaman because you ladies are going crazy over him for sure. He's their answer for Thor.
Trash.
I'm sure it will be. It's like Thor, if you ask me. Whatever. I don't think they're going to do Cyborg, but it is what it is. I don't think he's that strong of a character.
He's not.
And then they'll drop Justice League. So from Marvel's point of view, they got Thor coming out, Ragnarok, which will feature Doctor Strange, the Hulk, and Thor. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They're trying to reinvigorate the Thor franchise?
I mean, come on, son.
Because those plot lines be nap time.
But it seems like it's going in threes. There's plenty of other movies coming out that are great, but especially Black Panther coming out too. Come on. I know you're ready for it.
I know. I said that. That was the beginning. See, you even came back to it. You tried to be like, okay, you too hyped, and then in the end, you hyped yourself up. See, Marvel, let me pre-order. What's the deal?
They're not gonna let you do it. But anywho. With that being said, this has been the last stop on the L. I'm cutting this off right here at YFR Mayhem. Find me on Twitter, holla at your boy.
It's your boy, DannyOcion, DannyOcian. Follow me on Twitter. Don't forget this important message that I have to say. So,
the password is Kale?
Yes, the password is Kale. Always remember that. January 20th is almost upon us. The password is Kale.
This has been the last stop on the L. We'll see you next time.